The internet, since its creation, has broken boundaries, connected people around the globe, empowered businesses, and availed information at the fingertips of the citizenry. To celebrate the 30th anniversary, the founder of the phenomenon, Sir Berners-Lee, embarked on a 30-hour flight to celebrate the event, which started from CERN and ended in a Lagos meeting with the Nigerian tech community. At 2 p.m. Nigerian time, the 30 hours elapsed, and this was how it was marked. Sir Berners-Lee believed that as the web reshapes our lives, we have a responsibility to make sure it is recognized as a human right and an invention driven by the need to connect the world's population using innovation and technology.
Here it's about growth, it's about innovation. It's got more, you have lots and lots of people, and you've got more and more people coming online, more and more people starting cool companies, more and more people starting to innovate on the internet at any point. So to a certain extent it's reasonable for Adrian to say how the future is here. The spirit of the web, in a way, has been initially in 1989 was all about people just the twinkle in people's eyes as they realized what could happen if we took the internet, which had been invented 20 years ago, and turned it into a space where people could interact and where people could publish stuff and comment and people could collaborate online.
Figures recently released by the International Telecommunication Union shows that 51.2% of the world's population are now online. What should be done to get others online?
Well, I think the first thing we need is to use this moment, this 30th birthday of the web, to really redouble the efforts of everybody, from governments, from companies, from all of us as citizens, to ensure that the web really should be for everyone. As you say, half the world is online. We just passed that point just a matter of a couple of months ago. That's fantastic, but we need to use this moment to say that we can't stop here. We can't even stop at 60 or 70 or 80%. You know, the web was always meant to be for everyone, and this is our chance to redouble efforts to make sure that we secure that goal.
The president of the World Wide Web Foundation, Adrian Lovett, also speaks about how people online can be protected from threats so as to have a place safe for everyone, as envisaged by the inventor.
I mean, we think that there are a number of threats to the web. One is around security and people's cybersecurity and the safety of their data. There are also threats around the quality of information online, misinformation, disinformation, and all the ways in which the facts can be distorted in what we find online. There's concerns around the way governments in some parts of the world will increasingly restrict access to the web. So lots of things that are threats that we need to face, and our view is that this needs to be resolved by a kind of a contract for the web, bringing together governments and companies and citizens around the world, because we all have a responsibility for the web. It's not just about what governments need to do and what companies to do, although that's important too, but bringing together a contract for the web that sets out the responsibilities that each group has, and then holding ourselves and each other to those promises. That feels like the way to resolve some of these challenges and build a web that really is for everyone.
With most of the people online men, former Minister of Communications Omobola Johnson proffers a solution on how more women can be technologically empowered.
I think it's a number of things. First of all, there's got to be a deliberate effort to get women to not be afraid of technology, because it's afraid of technology. And so that means that we need to encourage young girls from very early ages to interact and engage with technology. I think we have to start, we have to start encouraging and almost making technology an attractive option for women. So I think those are some of the two things that we can do. And really looking at it, you don't really have to be a technology or digital or something that is really techy to be able to engage and interact on the internet. And I think that's what we need to start telling women. This is a way of life right now. You can't do almost anything unless you interact with the web, whether it's a mobile phone or computer, whether you're buying things or you're looking for information or you're selling things, whatever it is, you've got to interact with the internet and the web. And so what we're trying to do is encourage women and girls to interact very early, because it's not something that is natural. Interact very, very early with the internet, with technology, and hopefully when we do that, we get a lot more women in the web. But it's got to be a lot more deliberate and intentional than that. So it's not just hoping that they will do it. There are a number of people that are working to ensure this is happening. So we were at the WTech Hub earlier on, where they're actually working with young girls to train them on developing code, they're training them on actually to do robotics and all of that. That begins to pique an interest for girls and makes them understand that this is actually an option for me as I decide what to do with my life.
Africa's population has seen the highest rise of people online from 2.1% in 2005 to 24% by the end of 2018. As we count down more years, the hope will be that more people will come online and enjoy the good the web offers without fear of intimidation and any other threats.
Some of the people in your constituents are asking for your recall. Are you scared of that?
This week's most viewed videos begins with a war of words between Senator Dino Melaye and his long-term rival, former Senator Smart Adeyemi.
I am not scared. I am not perturbed. They are sponsored by Smart Adeyemi and my governor. And I want to tell you that those who came to even ask for the recall are not my constituents.
When you listen to two people speaking, you can draw the conclusion as to who is speaking the truth and who is telling lies, based on what we are saying and our antecedents. Our antecedents and what we're saying will let you know who is speaking the truth.
It is followed by the disagreement between APC and PDP members over allegations of voter intimidation in Lagos State during the presidential and National Assembly elections.
Election is not a war. But when you bring desperation and violence to election process, then you cannot determine the consequence of where your action will take you. Now, for us in PDP, we have been peaceful and we have been abiding by the tenets of the electoral guidelines.
These allegations that he has come up with is, is strange to a lot of us, because you want to ask, is he the spokesperson or the representative of the traditional rulers, like he has mentioned? Is this the first time we're having elections in Lagos? Even when the PDP controlled the federal government and Lagos State was under the APC, in which they had all the apparatus of, states here in Lagos, we never heard of this type of allegations. So to some of us, it is very, very strange.
In third is Senator Godswill Akpabio, alleging there was foul play in the senatorial poll, as well as why PDP lost the presidential election.
So after waiting for 4 to 5 hours, they had to adjourn and said the next day they will now declare my victory. And so surprisingly, at Uyo, in the Resident Electoral Commissioner's office, mutilations occurred. And the papers you will see clearly show the mutilations.
You have evidence to show
I have evidence. I have the entire
to show that it was done at the INEC office.
Yes.
Up next, in second, is Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha speaking about the legitimacy of his suspension from the APC.
I just heard from media reports that I've been suspended from the party. I think Adams is seeking for relevance and is seeking for attention. He doesn't have such powers to remove somebody without following the due process. And if he's joking, which I think he is, I also have decided to sack him myself, so I'll sack him from the party.
And in first is the court order directing INEC to make available all election materials available to the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. However, the countdown begins now with the aim of making the internet safer for everyone to conduct their businesses, seek information, and connect with people without having to cross borders. Also, the move to make those yet to be online compliant needs to be addressed so they are not left out as the fourth industrial revolution approaches. On that note, we wrap it up on the program today, but do remember that we continue this conversation on the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias.